Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District to order. Invocation will be anyway.
God, thank you for another beautiful day with a weekend coming upon us where your son died on the cross for our sins. I do want to recognize the grace that he extends upon us through that, and that we should do the same amongst ourselves to our constituents. In your name, Lord, we pray. Protect this whole community. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and we're very grateful to be back in the courthouse. We haven't been here in such a time. It's been a long time since we've been in here. At this time, we have roll call. President Thomas and President is Mr. Robert. At this time, we have a public comment period. Is there anyone wishing to sign up, speak on any issue? Please come forward to sign the card. If there's none, we'll go right on to 4. Acceptance of minute of February 4, 2021.
Motion.
We have a second. A motion by Mr. Robert, second by Thomas. Is there any question? Any discussion? Motion passed. Chairman report. At this time, I would like to again thank everyone for coming out, and I'm very happy to be once again found in the courthouse in the meeting room. At this time, I would like to recognize Ms. Regina Thomas, which she'll be heading up our operation of production management, and I would like to recognize her. Would she please stand? If you have any comments, anything you'd like to say, you can do so.
How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm just happy to be here. I've been with the parish for 19 years total on the east side, and I was selected by my higher directors for the position of the west side. And I'm just happy to be here to move forward with doing things and, dealing with we have a lot of things that we're working on to bring everything together on the west side, to get it up to par, bringing in an org chart and different things to, just bring everything back together and get it running the way it should be.
Okay, we'd like to thank you. We'd like to welcome you here.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Joe Robert.
Yes, Regina, I want to congratulate you on
Thank
moving
you.
over here and the additional responsibilities that come with that.
Thank you.
I had a little workings with you on the other side of the river, and it was always good. So, just keep up the good work, and
Thank you.
I think we got it. From here, we'll be in good shape, so thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas, and again, we look forward to working with you. And if there's anything, any problems, if anything, please don't hesitate to call us.
Oh, vice versa.
And thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I would like to recognize Mr. Ron Salwa, the DPW director from the East Bank, and we thank you for coming.
Can you stand?
Appreciate
so everyone
you.
can see?
Appreciate you being here tonight in present. And I would not allow me to recognize my longtime friend, Mr. Lester, our cameraman. He is being retiring, and he just informed me, so I want to say congratulations to Mr. Lester, and we appreciate the hard work for this parish of Ascension, and we thank you very much for all that you've done for us, and we will miss you. And thank you very much. Anything else? Thank you. Okay, at number 6, we have the Louisiana Watershed Initiative, Mr. David Wall, Executive Assistant to the President.
Good afternoon, Councilman Thomas and Councilman Robert. On the Louisiana Watershed Initiative, at this point, we have completed our application to the Louisiana Watershed Initiative application for the grant money for Region 6. It was really a challenge for us to meet the deadlines that were required by us, but we had a good group of people. Mr. Dean Thompson and GSA, Mr. Kimberly that works for GSA has, and also the grant department, Hermina. It was really a team effort in putting that application together and sent that thing off, and we're hoping that we'll get at least one or maybe all our projects funded through the Louisiana Watershed Initiative. I know the state had issued like 15 projects through the governor. They funded 15 projects through the governor's deal. And like each region right now has $5 million that are allocated to, I think, each region. And so those decisions on our projects, to my understanding, will be maybe June or July before we hear something back from the committees in reference to evaluating all our applications that have been presented to the Region 6 for funding. So it's a little bit of waiting time. I'm excited about it, talking to some of the other people that's involved with the Louisiana Watershed Initiative. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and saying a little prayer that, hey, if we can get all 3 of them, it's going to be really fantastic for the west side in reference to addressing some of our drainage issues over here. So we're just going to keep, I know I'm just antsy for a decision for them to make, but it's just going to take some time for them to evaluate all of the applications that have been put in. So that's where we stand at right now with the Louisiana Watershed Initiative. Looking past that, there is rounds for round 2, round 3. Talking to some of the people that are in that committee kind of gave me some other ideas for us to pursue. And so we're just going to take those ideas, kick them around, and see what we can come up with in reference to some other projects that we may need on the west side. So, and those are the kind of things that we're going to look forward to working on through the Louisiana Watershed Initiative. Now, they are talking about going from a Louisiana Watershed Initiative in reference to all the regions coming together and trying to come up with some kind of agreement with everyone instead of a Louisiana Watershed Initiative to come together as a statewide coalition. And there's some reasoning behind that, which I don't have all of the information, but as soon as I get all of that, I'll be glad to pass that information on, why they want to head towards a Louisiana state coalition deal instead of Louisiana Watershed Initiative between Region 6, Region 7, Region 8. But that's the update on the Louisiana Watershed Initiative that I have at this particular time. Any questions?
All right, Mr. Wild, is the 3 projects, would you mind naming those 3 projects? I know you had the 3 projects that we have that we intended on doing.
That's
Would
the
you be able to
Bonadonna
give us
Catawba project.
Yeah. It was 3, right?
Yeah, there's three of them. The
What are
Bonadonna Catawga project,
Catawga.
the West Ascension Drainage project.
Consistent what, you say West Ascension Drainage, what?
Well,
that
they named it that, way because what we do, we have several different areas that was put into this package. Bayou McCall was one of them. Crescent Ditch was one of them. There's another large ditch off of 945 that we're looking at putting some large culverts in. So it's Tebow Drive. There's another large ditch right there that goes, by the ballpark and stuff. So those are some areas that we're looking at, trying to close up those areas so we don't have to continue maintaining those things in the water, getting out fast enough to the tributaries out like Bayou Napoleon and extend out to Bayou Barrett out in those areas. So these are some of the projects that we looked at. And then we have the Bayou Lafourche pump water project. Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District is putting up that concrete wall on 308 and putting pumps in there, and we're seeking more pumps in reference to that to be the backup pumps for that project. So those are the three projects that we put forward.
Okay, I know you mentioned the price about the cost of those projects, about what we may be looking at receiving.
And that's probably that's why I'm thinking that we probably won't get them all funded because they'll run anywhere between $5 and $8 million, all three of those projects. And there's only $5 million for us, the TAR Region 6, to that's going to fund all of the projects that or applications that have been put in, and I think there's almost 30 applications in there. So it's a lot for all of them to look at in reference to which ones that they're going to fund. So if we don't, get any projects funded in the first round, we will put those into the second round. We're hoping that the second round that they will put more money in the pot for distribution of projects. So we're not giving up. They got 3 rounds of that money, and we're going to stay right in there until somebody recognizes that these projects are a worthwhile fix for us on the side of the road.
So you're looking at the approximately, I know you probably can't really say the approximate time span
June, July, and if we get one of those projects funded, we shovel ready. It's all engineered, all put together. So we ready to go if we get the projects funded. So, yeah.
Well,
That's what they were looking for in the first round anyway, and they probably will be looking for that in the second round too, that, hey, are your projects ready to go?
Ready to go, right.
Yeah, so we good.
Well,
We're ready
good job, good job, David, and thank you for the information.
All right.
Mr. Robert.
You answered a lot of my questions. One I had, you said Region 6 is getting approximately $5 million funded for the whole region?
Yeah, Joel,
And how many?
I don't know how they did that in reference to
How many?
why they 5 million to each region.
How many hands are in the pot?
Ma-
How many hands are
Whew, they got
in Region 6?
in Region 6 there's like about 30 projects, so there's a lot of hands in that pot. Yeah, I'm looking to try to clear them hands out and have our hand all the way reaching in.
Realistically, there's no reason we shouldn't at least have.
Realistically, I guess, to really talk about all 3 projects and the way we will put them together, I hate to pick one, because they're all important. All three projects are real important, and I'd hate to
the
stand up
only
here and
reason
say that one is more worthy than the other, because, everybody has a concern in reference to, getting flooded and flood damage to their homes, so
The reason I
to me,
bring
I
that
think it's important.
is because I think we should have some type of order in which these projects are, from the most or least effective to the worst, especially if we have that many people that are grabbing for this money for the 5 million. And also in the sense of, I know we don't have a master plan on this side for drainage. I'm not asking for a huge master plan by any means, and I'm not even asking you really for that in particular. But I think if we started categorizing these projects and looked at them in more of a master plan type deal, where we could show them, well, look, this project will have future work for this, this, and this, for future areas or future residents that could be affected positively by work, in the sense of having some order to it. I mean, I know there's no way we can get a master plan together, but by the time all this watershed initiative is done, but in the sense of that, and I mean, I'm just saying, if we really have that many people and you have $5 million, us getting more than one of those projects, if one, would be not likely, odds-wise. Now, the $5 million for round one, what are they looking at for 2 and 3? About the same? You have any idea?
This one was a tough one to deal with because, and I'm sure Ron and them dealt with the same thing. They kept changing some criterias along the way and asking for more information into the applications during the whole process. And when they kept introducing more questions to be answered on the application, and then the time frame in reference to putting the applications in, it really got really tricky for everyone, not just us, for all the regions and everyone that was putting in applications, to really answer all of the questions that they were asking in a timely manner to put in the applications.
So,
Do
we have any other projects that we do we have any other projects that we can be looking into for round 2 and round 3?
Yeah.
In the sense of not even saying that round 1's projects didn't get picked because it wasn't, enough. We had enough of our share, but I mean, maybe they want to see someone fresh or something different. So I feel like we should be working on a couple ideas.
Yeah, I know one that I talked to one of the landowners this morning about, because a guy during my conversations with Mr. Pat Gordon threw in the idea of a retainer pond, and I think that's also what the east side is also looking at, is these retainer ponds.
I think that'd be a great idea for around here, especially near the
so
city
I'm talking to them about some land that might not be useful for farming, but may be able for us to maybe purchase in reference to using as a retainer pond, because that helps during these significant rain events in reference to the water will go into those retainer ponds and then release them into the larger canal. So when he put that brainstorm on me, I went right to work, man. I said, man, this is a great idea, and I know there's some areas of that we can approach some of the people on in reference to maybe getting us a retainer pond, especially on the 308 side, because...
Well, I like the idea of the parks and doing parks in it, so you could use funding for a retainer pond and put some playground equipment in there, or do some striping and have a soccer field. Who knows? I mean, I like the ideas of the benefits of that, and no eyesores, not held water all the time. Mosquitoes, stagnant, you don't have that. But lastly, in the sense of the watershed, in the sense of where I've been going with the whole master plan type deal and the order and the hierarchy of the projects themselves, do each of these projects affect one another? Meaning if we do project A, will the people or project B be affected by it and so forth with B and C?
No, not really.
So they'll have, their effects are going to be on complete different watersheds?
Well, there may be maybe a couple of things in the West Ascension.
And I'm just saying that may be something to
Yeah.
look at as far as the order of importance, and maybe even saying, look, this now, and then for second and third round, we might have something there and there.
Well, I wish I could request that, but then they're gonna base it on the information that we,
Supply.
introduced into the application, which one.
No, absolutely, but
Yeah.
whenever they ask questions and you have a bunch of prepared ideas, and, I mean, somewhat
Yeah.
prepared, put a little thought behind it, maybe a little time behind them, you have a lot more tendency of getting the projects and getting the priority for the projects, because they see that the work for them not only will be done, but it's done beforehand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You're doing a great job,
That's
sir.
All right, Mr. Wow, thank you, and again, listening at Joel, we wanted to prioritize those projects, sort of get them to where, whatever one would be the best.
Yeah.
We get it going, but again, thank you, and appreciate it.
No sense in me leaving right here now.
No, sir, we'll go to number 7, the Bayou Barrett project update, Mr.
Yeah.
David Wow.
I talked to Mr. Donald Ray Henry today, because I've been after him all week
Right.
for an update, and he finally called me today. And they at the bridge in La Peace. Now, where is that actually located at? I'm not quite sure, but I kind of asked the question. So, how much further we got to go? So they're looking at about another 2.5 miles before they reach 70. So they coming along with the project. Time frame, that's going to dictate weather conditions and those sort of things. Now they did do something that we're putting in place here, which Mr. Regina is going to have at her disposal, is this shredder that we put into the budget. The Food Basin Levy Board bought one, and it's helping them out a lot in reference to shredding all of these trees in Bayou Napoleon and Bayou Barrett. Me and Ron was talking about that before the meeting. That big canal has been needing to be addressed, and that's where a lot of our water, matter of fact, all our water goes out through there.
Right.
And so when they finish addressing that, cleaning out that's going to be a lot of help for us on the west side from 308 going out that way. And of course, we're addressing some of our larger canals and ditches on this side too that hadn't really been maintained in quite a while. And so when all of this comes together, I think that we'll have a good handle on our drainage on the 308 side, going out that way. There is some other things that we're gonna need to address in some of our larger deals, but we're gonna look at those also and see exactly what we need to do with those. So that's gonna really help us out a lot on the 308 side, like and talking about the retainer pond. And I know we've done as much as we could possibly do, and maybe there's a little bit more that we need to do on Cotton Drive down there. We've done a lot, and the stuff that we've done has greatly helped. There is a couple more things that we might be able to tweak down there to help. But when they do this Bayou Barrett, Bayou Napoleon, it's gonna really help us out a lot. Now, but that's all I have on that. We have some
Okay,
other stuff that we will address at another meeting in reference to some of these larger canals.
So in talking to Mr. Henry also, he said that the project is coming along pretty good. As you mentioned, things are coming, they're not too far from where you
Yeah.
mentioned that they are, and things are going pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to thank you for the smoke bin situation, the situation on Catawba and
Yeah.
the smoke bin along Bowles in that area that we dug.
They got a little bit more
It
stuff we
went,
can do in that
it went
area.
pretty
and,
good.
And,
I had a good response
Yeah.
on that situation. It relieved a little.
Yeah.
It did a good job. Y'all did a good job with.
Yeah,
opening
I'm gonna let
things up.
Regina know, there's one more issue that we can do for that area, to make sure that, that issue, hopefully it just goes away. We just got one more concern that I had looked at, and Ms. Regina's, gonna be responding to all of those issues, and I'll make sure that, all of the stuff that, I was involved with and pass it on to her, because her success over there for us is going to really help address all of the issues that we have. And that's one of them right there that we need to, one more thing. And I think that'll go away too.
And make sure, along with, you mentioned Cotton Drive, we definitely have to get a little more attention in that area so we can get that situated, get that moving forward. So we've been dealing with it for quite some time, so we're gonna need to put a little more attention in getting that situation settled.
There's down there, there's one thing that they asked me to do, and right now I think we're at a point where we looking for an engineer in the parish. Am I right now? No? So once we get an engineer on board, let him look at something that they brought to my attention, let them make a determination on that, because I didn't want to make that call without somebody with the knowledge of what they were asking us to do down there, to divert the water in a different way, and I wasn't willing to take that risk to put it on somebody else too. So we got a lot of things to work on in a positive way, and keeping things focused on addressing all of those issues.
But again, we definitely need to get the experts, get the engineer, whoever it needs to be, get in Cotton Drive and get that settled, because we've been dealing with that a little bit too long.
Oh, yeah.
So moving forward, we'll be able to settle that situation and allow those people some relief. Thank you, David.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Number 8, we have the report by Ms. Regina Thomas upon Herbert Turner.
The work report for this week, we had pick up trash along Highway 18, the Cutoff Road, Wire Lane, Acosta Lane, at the bus turnaround, and in Modas. They were backfilling a ditch at the sheriff's substation, cutting grass along Highway 1, and they'll continue that next week. Digging along the Irish Canal, and we're replacing culverts on Preston Lane and Modas also. And that's what we have so far for the week.
Okay, I got a good response on the trash pickup that we did, and also the tires that we picked up along the highway that was brought to the barn. I did get some calls in saying that they appreciate the trash pickup and the tires, that they cleaned up, and things looking pretty much as normal. But again, we still have folks coming back, repeating the same situation, bringing the trash back. So we're going to look at trying to put some cameras if possible.
Okay.
We'll try and do that, look into it anyway.
Okay.
See if we can try and derail some of those people from coming down on the 308 and
Dumping.
through Lemonville, trying to stop them from, dumping that trash, because it's been a headache, it's been a constant thing, so. But again, we did get calls, I did get some calls, saying thank the parish for picking those tires and picking the trash up along the highway. Did
Okay,
a good
and I
job.
spoke with
did a good
Environmental
job.
today,
Mhm.
and they're gonna come and pick the tires up, all that we collected.
Yes,
They're gonna come out and pick them up from us
okay,
to free up some of the space where they collected them at.
thank you. Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Mention the org chart? Okay, and also I wanted to mention, we have a chart, a org chart that we put together.
Yes, ma'am,
You all have a copy of it
yes, ma'am,
with the employees and the positions and the, job titles,
yes,
the position that they work in. Once we go through the equipment and get everything up to par and back to running, we have a total of 4 crews with operators and workers that we can have accessible to dig at all
you
times.
said 4 crews?
4 digging crews.
Okay, all right, yeah.
We have 4 digging crews that we'll be able to have out, digging, doing different jobs. Even if some is a special job, we will have an extra crew specifically, that can handle that. We have a total of 19 employees.
Yes,
And we just, we have the chart laid out to where, they'll be able to see who they fall under and what, role they play in making this West Bank better.
okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Any questions? Question, Mr. Robert?
So sorry.
You said y'all are getting into the grass cutting. Obviously, we see a lot of it. It's that time of year. How are we looking as far as a plan moving forward through the summertime? Are we looking at incorporating some spraying and with the cutting and just some kind of questions for the future?
Okay, we have,
Maybe you can get together for us next time. Just
Okay.
Until it comes to the time and people are calling us, that way we can have some idea of when the different areas and stuff will be cut.
We have a spray
rotation,
truck.
rotation on the grass
Exactly.
cutting.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be great.
yeah, okay,
But keep up the good work. I appreciate the trash pickup.
okay.
And yeah, you got your work cut out for you, but you got a lot of good people working under your supervision. So
Awesome.
keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gene.
Okay.
Number 9, we have date and time of next West Ascension board meeting, May 6th, 2020. We'll have the West Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Board meeting. Any discussion?
May
Any
6th,
questions?
2020 or
Questions?
2021?
Board meeting? Be as hell. Number 10, adjournment.
Motion?
Motion by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. Thomas to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
You have me?